There are 77,000 jobs tied to this reef. If the Great Barrier Reef were a company, it would be Australia's fifth largest employer. And right now, AI is boarding. Let me give you the number that makes this real. The Great Barrier Reef, not just the water, the whole ecosystem of jobs, tourism, science, and fisheries that's built around it is valued at $95 billion. That's up 69% since 2017. Tourism alone generates 7.9 billion a year, and that's nearly 90 cents in every dollar of the reef's economic value, and more than 30% of all leisure tourism spending in Queensland, a state in Australia, linked to one of Australia's largest natural assets, the Great Barrier Reef. So when we talk about AI disrupting the reef economy, we're not talking about a niche industry in some small corner of the world. We're talking about one of the biggest employment engines in the entire country. Here's what most career content won't tell you about AI and the Great Barrier Reef. The real action isn't in the boardrooms of Brisbane, it's underwater. There's a robot, and it's an actual autonomous underwater robot called the Ranger Pod. It uses computer vision to find the crown of thorns starfish, the coral-eating predators that have been devastating the Great Barrier Reef system. Basically, it injects them autonomously without a human diver in the water. Now, I'm not going to pretend that a starfish hunting robot is the most dramatic AI story you've ever heard, but here's why it matters for your career. It's a preview of exactly what's happening across the entire industry. Tasks that used to require a trained human diver, physical, time intensive, requiring specialist knowledge, they're being handed to machines, not because the machines are smarter than divers, but because the machines don't get tired. They don't get decompression sickness, and they can cover an entire reef system at scale that no human team could match. Meanwhile, university researchers are integrating satellite imagery, machine learning, and GIS into real-time dashboards that monitor reef health globally. Underwater video, time sensor readings, water temperature data, all centralized, all analyzed by AI, feeding in predictive models that can flag a bleaching event before human surveyors even get their wetsuits on. The Australian Institute of Marine Science has an entire facility for testing marine robotics, autonomous drones, and AI systems in tropical water conditions. This is not experimental anymore. This is operational, and it's changing what a reef career actually looks like. So who should be paying attention? Let's start here. This is where automation is at its quietest and most relentless. Reservation staff, customer service agents, tour booking coordinators, admin roles in tourism operators. These are the roles where AI chatbots, automated booking platforms, and AI-assisted scheduling are already replacing the headcount. Not dramatically, not overnight, just quietly. One position that doesn't get backfilled, one casual role that becomes a chatbot, one call center that becomes FAQs run by AI. In the reef tourism sector, these roles make up a significant chunk of employment. They're often entry level, they're often the first rung for young workers, backpackers, or career changers, and they are, by every measure we have, the most exposed to AI displacement. Now, I want to be precise here. Not all reef jobs are equal targets. The roles that require human presence as a core feature of the job, AI has almost nothing to offer there. A dive master on the outer reef, a snorkel guide interpreting the ecosystem for a group of tourists who've flown in from Korea, a traditional owner who is a cultural guide connecting visitors to their lived experience being on country, sharing their dreamtime stories. You can't automate all, you can't automate trust, and you can't automate the feeling of being here in this place with another human who knows it intimately. These roles are growing, not shrinking, because as AI compresses the admin layer, operators are doubling down on the human experience. The product is the reef itself, delivered by a person, and AI is not getting that job. The same is true on the science side, but in a different way. The Australian Institute of Marine Science made a statement when they launched their coral seeding AI system. They said this technology is not about machines replacing humans. It's about humans working with machines to give our science impact at a scale which was difficult to achieve previously. The reason AI matters on the reef is precisely because the problem is too large for human teams to solve at pace. The reef is 348,000 square kilometres. No amount of hiring solves the monitoring challenge. AI does, which means the humans who understand how to work alongside these systems, marine scientists who can interpret AI generated data sets, field operators who can deploy and maintain autonomous systems, GIS specialists who can build monitoring dashboards, those people are not being displaced. They are being upgraded. There is a talent gap forming in the reef economy right now, and it sits at the intersection of marine knowledge and technical AI fluency. If you're a marine biologist who hasn't yet explored AI, that's your gap. If you're a tech worker who's never thought about ecological applications, that's your opportunity. And if you're a mid-career professional in the reef tourism sector with operational knowledge, AI literacy is your opportunity. Here's what I want you to take away from this. The Great Barrier Reef is a $95 billion economy built on one of the most fragile ecosystems on the planet. And AI is arriving in it simultaneously as a rescue tool for the reef itself and as a disruption force for the workforce that depends on it. That tension is not going to resolve neatly. The reef faces existential climate pressure. If the reef declines, the 77,000 jobs built on it decline too, regardless of what AI does or doesn't do to the labour market. That's a risk that sits underneath the AI conversation. But the career signal right now today is this: the roles with the most human irreplaceability, guiding, interpreting, stewarding, they're stable. The roles built on task repetition, booking, admin, data entry, they're shrinking. And the roles that blend ecological expertise with AI fluency, they don't even have a job title yet, which means someone needs to write their own. And that someone could be you.